Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Dave TV. This is the 8th of September, 2014. How are you all doing? Monday morning update here on Dave TV. Let's see, what's the big news? The big news over the weekend, we heard that Jack Diamond was apparently, I don't know if this actually happened or whether it's just one of his spinners. The spinners, we spin around here. One of his spinners saying that he was seen over at WRQX, visiting with the advertising staff and the folks over there who still remember him. So, is Jack going back? Is Jack going back? Here's the deal. I have looked at the first couple radio ratings for that new incarnation over there on 107.3, and I'm not impressed. Okay? Now, granted, it's only been a couple of weeks. They got the Sarah Fraser and the Gang morning show there. They got that contemporary hits format that's kind of going head-to-head with Hot 99.5, top station in the market. I don't have a lot of hope there for 107.3. Okay, they're calling it DC's 107.3, that new format. I don't know. It's just like they're not doing anything fresh and new. They're just doing something that's already being done a lot better elsewhere in the market. So what's going to happen? Well, I don't know. Maybe the ratings will show that the morning show there is catching on and there's getting some traction at the station. But those first couple initial numbers I'm seeing aren't showing that. Okay, they're not doing any promo. I'm not seeing any promo. But again, I'm not plugged into a lot of the TV stuff, but I'm not seeing them. That's the one thing that Cumulus does is they don't seem to like to promote their radio stations. They want advertisers to advertise on their webs, on their stations, but yet they don't feel the need to advertise themselves. So it's kind of a weird mentality. But anyhow, so what's Jack Diamond doing over there? Well, if this all goes horribly astray, what if there's no ratings traction for this new RQX format in September with another month's numbers? What do you do? What do? You sit there and just keep going at 20th place or 17th place or whatever? Or do you say, okay, let's bring Jack back and let's, take RQX back to what it was, Mix 107.3, as a matter of desperation? I don't know. Would Jack come back? Would Jack ask for less money? Maybe. That's a possibility. That's a definite possibility I see happening come, maybe October, November. I don't know. The other possibility is that, Cumulus could put the Nash format. Nash is a country music format they're syndicating all across the country. They just have it on in New York, and they're putting it all over the place. They could put Nash here now. The problem is, MZQ does pretty well in the ratings. You're going to be putting a second country station right in Washington proper, and there's also a lot of country stations surrounding the Washington area. So there's a lot of country radio on the dial already. Is another one going to do any good? I don't know. They're kind of stuck there. So I think there's Cumulus is looking at bad, and then a couple solutions that are maybe less bad, and that's it. My philosophy is they need to just take that signal and just completely erase it and start over fresh. Start over with something brand new. My philosophy would be, as I've said before, an Hispanic English rocker. That's what I think would do well. Go after El Zal because their signal ain't great. You have a good signal. There's a couple of Spanish stations in the market that are doing okay, but there isn't one killer inside the Beltway stick for a Spanish language. And throw in some English Anglo-pop and mix it all up, and that's your unique station. I would do something like that. Otherwise, do a really cool oldie station, like WCBS in New York, with personalities on it, and and put a lot of soul oldies on it for Washington, and do a really nice, cool format. Get Donnie Simpson or something like that on it. That might be really cool too for this market. So there's some ideas there, but I think it's getting to the point where they really need to just blow up 107.3 and completely start over. I don't know if going back to Jack is the right thing to do, but what do you know? What do I know? I've only been covering DC radio and television for 17 years and listening to it for 40 plus, so what the hell. The Washington Post today, I'm looking, here's the paper. Well, there you go. There's the paper today. I don't know. Look at the layout of this. This is a special section here on Stop and Seize, where they're doing looking at how police officers pull over people and then seize their possessions, whatever. And it's a good article and it's a good series, but look how gray it is. I mean, we just go gray, 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 gray. See how gray that is? I, I don't know if you can see. I'm kind of mixing things up here, aren't I? I'm trying to direct in this little laptopy thing. Look how gray that is. It's just gray, gray, gray. And I don't know. You need to break it up. If you're going to do a long article like this, break it up into little pieces and put little subheads on it. That's terrible page design, I think. And then look at these other pages. Look at how gray they are. I don't know, man. Gray, gray, gray. I really get the impression with the Washington Post, especially the print edition, that it's almost like we're just going to throw whatever up on the wall and we don't really care if it sinks or swims or whatever. This paper is just there's still some good articles in the A section. I have to admit, they do have some good reporting, but just gray, 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 gray. Look at that article. Look how gray that is. They need to break it up and make reader entry points. And who's going to sit there? It's like reading a phone book, man. I don't know. And where the hell is Paul Farry? Haven't seen much Paul Farry lately. Maybe he's gone. Maybe finally took my advice. I don't know, man. I don't know. So what am I wearing today? Okay. I got the old traditional 28 waist camos on, cutoffs. So there you go. Nice cooler weather. Cooler weather. What the hell? And what the heck? What else is going on? Don Geronimo, I guess, is still trying to set up that old podcast of his. Have had some interesting talks with some folks connected to Don. Yeah, I don't know, man. What are you gonna do? I still think Don needs to get back on. I still think the best place for Don would have been to do the morning, do mornings on WTEM ESPN 980. I think, they need a morning show, and, Mike and Mike just doesn't cut it. But they're under contract. I know Dan Snyder's station's under contract to ESPN to carry that, but I really think that would have been cool. Okay, Arch Campbell going to be a correspondent for Tony Kornheiser's ESPN 980 show, 10 to, once a week, basically. I guess Fridays he's going to talk about movies and stuff. So that's cool. So Arch is not completely vanishing from the local media dial these days. Arch runs an ad here on DCR TV, and I'm very thankful to Arch for doing that. He's been a nice advertiser all these years, but he's trying to make a deal now with me on a trade. And part of the trade is he wants to give me a Stetson hat. He said a Stetson hat that's worth $250. To pay for the ad and some videotapes from his old office there at Channel 7. And I'm going, you see me in a Stetson hat, I may have a military genre look, but cowboy look. Maybe I could do that. I'll get some cowboy boots and change Dave into Cowboy Dave. I don't know, man. It ain't me. But he said, well, put it up on eBay or something. Well, I guess maybe we could do that. I don't know. Arch is a cool cat, but that's weird. The Wizards. What's up with the Wizards going to WNEW? Hey, I think it's a good move for the Wizards because it gets them a better signal into Baltimore. They're on WNEW covers Baltimore really well, and that gives them a nice FM signal into Baltimore. Plus, they get good coverage, pretty good coverage of the Washington area. Whoever listens to who listens to basketball on the radio? I mean, come on, geez. I don't know, man. But anyhow, so that's a cool thing. It's interesting to watch them, NEW climbing ever so slowly in the ratings, but they are climbing. They're maybe going to hit 20th place by the end of the year after 3 years of trudging through the slippery mud of DC radio. But, it's interesting. And I wouldn't be surprised if maybe they put some more long-form talk on the station. Maybe they'll get somebody and put them on middays as a talk show. I don't know. They're going to do some tweaking there, make it more of a, full-service talker as opposed to an all-newser. I don't know. Maybe we'll keep the all-news blocks in the morning and make them look more and more like BAL. As BAL is trying, now that's interesting, without the competition from WNEW in Baltimore, BAL, AM, is now going more and more into the all-newsy kind of thing, trying to make the station more of a all-news radio station. Interesting. And from what I've heard even this morning, they're now making those news blocks in the morning more newsy. So interesting. Again, they need to get on FM, but again, I've talked to the new guy over there. Um, what's his name? I can't think of his name. Chip Palunkia. Kerry Pahigian. I talked to Kerry Pahigian. I think that's how do you pronounce that name? Pahigian, I don't know, Pahigian, like Michigan, Pahigian. Kerry Pahigian, I'm going to call him that. Nice guy, really friendly, but I don't know, man. He's stuck there. I don't know what you do. Unless you can get that station on FM, I don't see a hell of a lot of hope for their future rating successes, so we shall see about that. All righty. I'll keep you informed too. Comcast. I have a 1-year deal with Comcast, a promotional rate that ends at the end of September, and so we're going to see when I get the next bill. The promotional rate will be gone, and then we're going to have to negotiate with Comcast about either continuing the promotional rate. I'm seriously thinking of cutting the cord. I really am. I don't watch much cable TV or broadcast TV anymore. I put up an antenna here, and I can get most of the broadcast signals pretty good. I definitely have to keep the internet because that's my business. So I'm thinking of just saying bye-bye Comcast television and going strictly with Comcast internet. That's it. Just give me the blast internet package, nothing else. I'm gonna, I can watch my Roku, I can watch Netflix, I can watch broadcast television, and my gazillions of DVDs, which you can see behind me, they're up on the shelf there. So anyhow, let me just do that. I don't know. I just don't want to pay that damn broadcast TV fee and send money to Sinclair. And it's an interesting article today in one of the trade publications or newspapers that said that the average age of television viewers is going up and up and up. Younger people are not watching TV that much, traditional television. The average age of CBS is like 58 point something. That means that half of the viewers of CBS are older than 58. Yeah, that's pretty old, man. Anyway, thanks for watching Dave TV for the 8th of September 2014. Don't forget to help support us on our 17th anniversary. Send us $17, $170, $1,700, $17,000, or $17 million. Okay, that would really help. And our future is dependent on your support. So it always has been, and you've been always generous all these years. If you haven't made a donation to DCRTV in a year or so, how about helping us out? Just click on the little support linky dinky at the top of DCRTV for the address and all that stuff. All right, folks, thanks for watching Dave TV. As Bill Lord would say, book 'em, Dano.